with my podcast, man.
Don't look in the basement. The makers of Last House on the Left warn you again. To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie. The line between sanity and madness can be crossed in a single step. And with this step, you enter the nightmare world of terror. On the day the insane took over the asylum, Judge Kamen, whose iron self-control hides the urge to kill. Harriet, a mother's love, twisted into the malignant shape of evil. The sergeant, living in the hell of an aimless war, fighting a battle within himself that he lost long ago. Allison, in a desperate need for love, an obsession that could drive her to murder. Danny, whose sense of humor triggers a violent act of revenge. Dr. Masters, who has her own idea of the gentle art of healing. And Charlotte, who left the world of sanity and security, only to be trapped in the nightmare world of madness, a nightmare she cannot escape. They all met on the day the insane took over the asylum. Don't look in the basement. From Hallmark Releasing Corporation, rated R.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to our podcast, The Robots Took My Podcast. I am Jordan.
And I'm Anthony.
And I'm Justin.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Justin. We have a guest today, my old friend Justin Power.
Justin Powers.
From the Dallas film scene. Powers. Okay, plural. I forgot. I'm sorry. He has the power.
Yes.
How you doing, Justin?
Pretty good. How are you, Jordan? Been a long time since I've seen you.
I know, a long time, no talk, man. I feel like we might have been at some movie party with a bunch of movie people last time we saw each other or something like that. Or
probably.
In Dallas. Now, I met Justin, Anthony, just so you have something to react to here, Anthony. Okay. I met Justin.
Ready to react.
I met Justin on an old movie we did called The Tunnel by our mutual friend Ramsey Abed, and Justin was playing a corpse on a stretcher, and I had to do his makeup. And
what?
Yeah,
is that a good reaction? Okay.
Yes.
and you were. I remember you were playing a corpse, and you were method. You were like trying to stay as still as possible until I had to put makeup on your feet, and then you were ticklish. I found out.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, no joke, playing a corpse is difficult. So respect, honestly.
Yeah. But you kept still the whole time. I do admire that.
Yeah, thanks. That's where I thought that I had met you at. I wasn't sure, but I thought it had to do with Ramsey's movie.
Yeah. And we were in, people don't know about this little Dallas film scene that you and I were in back then with Ramsey, with Barack Epstein, who later went on to run the Texas Theater there and make Prison a Go-Go, which we also both worked on. Even
David Lowery was in that. I think he worked on that tunnel.
David Lowery, who later went on to direct, went on to bigger and better things. But yeah, he was the editor on The Tunnel. And I still own the 15-minute version of that movie, not the 35.
Yeah. I have like a compilation DVD that has that on there.
Oh, yeah, that must be the Troma one. And then I worked on your movie with you and your brother, Matt, Pot Zombies. I did makeup one day on that movie, as I remember. And I worked on the guitar impaling scene.
Was it at the Bar of Soap?
Yes, Bar of Soap, yes. Which, did you reshoot that?
Yeah. We reshot that at the Red Blood Club a little later on.
That's what I thought. Okay, because it did look different when I was watching Pot Zombies again last night.
I do have like a lot of footage from that, or the Bar of Soap thing, which everything was pretty much, I used about 3 seconds of that possibly.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, drinking at a bar and trying to get usable footage. Like, bad decision trying to do it there.
That's the essence of 90s/2000s filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having fun with your friends. There's a case of beer. There's whatever else is going on. Let me pause. I just want to catch the audience up here real quick, because through context clues, we can probably figure out that, like you said, we're talking to Justin Powers, who is a Texas filmmaker. Would you call yourself a Texas filmmaker?
Yes.
Documentarian, the director of the aforementioned Pot Zombies, Pot Zombies 2, More Pot, Less Plot, if I got that right. Everything is A-OK, Dallas, Texas punk rock documentary, and soon to be coming out, hopefully, It Came from Texas, a documentary about Texas B-movie filmmakers.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, and I was going to say, and your day job basically is you're usually a grip on a lot of movies and TV shows generally.
Yeah.
Around the area.
I'm a union grip, and I grip and I dolly grip. That's how I actually support, my family.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm working on, I just moved back to Texas, and I'm working on some Yellowstone spinoff.
Oh, cool.
That they're doing out in Fort Worth.
Yellowstone 1985. Is that?
Yeah. I've never seen I've actually never seen any of this guy's stuff, but I mean, I guess I'm glad he's bringing a lot of work to Texas,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Back to Pot Zombies. I do remember the problem being, like you said, alcohol being involved, and every zombie we made up was drunk as shit, and sometimes they just loved the kill too much when they were getting eaten by the other zombies. They would look like they enjoyed it too much. Yeah, they'd be like, their mouths are all over me. But that was a problem.
Yeah, and I saw Pot Zombies, and it was, oh man, what a Dallas movie. Like how fun. I knew a couple people in the movie. I didn't realize Jordan worked on it. That was amazing. It was just, I don't know, it was a little time capsule of a film. And that was a Troma-release, right? Didn't they distribute it?
Yeah, he did. And yeah, it's kind of like, it's not a documentary, but sometimes I look at it and there's all these people around at that time period, and it has a documentary feeling to me because it's capturing that time period with this certain group of people,
and that's awesome.
Yeah, it felt like looking at that movie and The Tunnel again. I kind of felt like that. But your movie Pot Zombies, I recognized one of the actors who I always loved, John Phelan, who played the hippie guy near the end in the tie-dye shirt, long hair.
Yeah, I love John. He's a cool guy.
Prison a Go-Go also playing one of the guards. But yeah.
And I would say, okay, in my notes it says Pot Zombies is a little less concerned with the linear plot and strives more for a cinema verite sort of feeling. It is that time and a place. It is like a bunch of dudes in a room just having a lot of fun making a movie. That's what it looks like, and that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it was. It was my idea at the beginning, but I was inexperienced to pull it off very well, obviously. Was a zombie movie like Return of the Living Dead meets Slacker. I wanted to do kind of like where it didn't really have the plot to, how it's just kind of cuts from one thing to another and a couple of weird transitions. In my mind, I was going to make like an artsy Slacker zombie movie,
Wow.
Nice.
But
I didn't know that was in your mind.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But I also had zero money, and zero experience.
I bet you got Lloyd Kaufman. And Jordan, real quick for everybody, who is Lloyd Kaufman? What is Troma for those folks who may not be initiated?
Oh, Lloyd Kaufman started Troma Pictures, which is still a streaming and releasing company. And then Lloyd Kaufman is the guy behind it, producing all this, and he produced them very low budget. And some people got their start under Lloyd Kaufman. James Gunn was one of them, in fact. And James Gunn actually casts Lloyd in every cameo now, in every movie he makes, including the last Superman movie. I think I saw him in even.
Yeah.
And I think we met him on Ramsey Abed's Tunnel once again, though, because he was making a cameo in that movie with Mark Borchardt from from the documentary American Movie.
I love that movie. That's
my
favorite.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed I would work with the guy either later, or, me and you would work with the guy.
Yeah. And so Troma put out, Justin continues to put out just tons and tons of movies. Back in the day, in like the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, I guess, it would... I heard that Lloyd Kaufman would just, if you flew him out to wherever you're filming your movie, that he would just like show up and be in it. And Lloyd Kaufman is in this
Yes.
Yeah.
movie as the pizza guy.
So I met him whenever I was starting the movie, I did a film festival / music festival down on Exposition, down in Fair Park. And it was called Fringe Media, the very first one. And I brought in Lloyd Kaufman and gave him like a Lifetime Achievement Award. I got his trophy made. And that's how I kind of met him there. And then he went, back home. And later on, I was about to shoot that scene that he's in. And I saw that he was coming to Dallas to do a book signing at Tower Records, I think, or whatever was over by the Angelica.
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember that. That was a Virgin Records there.
A Virgin. So he's like, yeah, if you pick me up at this signing, I can do it for 3 hours, and then I need you to drop me off at the strip club that he was doing an interview at for something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And
he's like, can I borrow $20 in singles? Thanks.
Yeah.
For my interview.
But what was cool about him was he was like one of the few exploitation filmmakers at that time and place when exploitation movies were kind of far and bygone.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of neat about it. And the fact that all you had to do was fly him out. That was the same way our friend Ramsey got him too, was just,
yeah.
Oh yeah. You put me up in a hotel. Sure. I'll show it. And I remember him showing up on the Ramsey's thing and he was like, this movie looks bigger than any Troma movie I ever made.
Yeah. So the last 6 years I was living in Atlanta and some of my friends worked on Superman and my friend Wes was the remote head technician for the cranes. And he was there the whole time. And he was there when Lloyd Kaufman came out. He kept on me like, man, let me know when Lloyd's there and let me know,
nice.
What happens. And he said that Lloyd Kaufman was there and that James Gunn called the entire crew over to introduce him and say, this guy's the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. He gave him a whole speech and I use him in everything. And
I remember even watching Guardians of the Galaxy when it came out, and I just was like, oh my God. I looked over at my wife like, there's Lloyd. There's Uncle Lloyd.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had to clean off his makeup on that day I worked on the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like the one time I got to talk to him.
Yeah.
And he was very cool, very jovial.
So what's it like directing him? Did he have any notes or was he just like, tell me what to do, bro?
He just kind of goes into character and you just like let it, go with it. Some of his lines were, ad-libbed right there for him. When he's just standing there, he just starts saying stuff and I just used the funny parts of it.
And you're okay with that? You weren't like, read it as written, take 2.
No, yeah. Very serious with that Pot Zombies screenplay there.
Lloyd, don't be a diva. I don't need you to be a diva, Lloyd Kaufman. Okay.
You're taking Lloyd to the side. Listen here, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So I love how this is actually a movie from a different era, not just like 2000s Dallas filmmaking, but also an era when pot wasn't legal in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I just love the disclaimers at the beginning.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah. Obviously it was a joke. But you may be surprised how many people, like I had emails back in the day of people angry about it and thinking that I was being serious. Like I'm a very sarcastic person. So,
I know that about you.
Whenever, like with some people, I'm like, wow, you really think that that's real? And the world's gotten worse now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gateway movie. I intended to get the youth of America hooked on zombie pot.
I mean, once they see those glowing eyes in the movie, they're hooked, right?
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of, did you do the digital effects or did you farm that out? How was that done at that time?
Well, I was working on it for a long time, shooting different pieces here and there and editing the single scenes type of thing. And then Lloyd Cryer from Texas Frightmare was about to have the very first Texas Frightmare. Pot Zombies actually premiered at the first Frightmare.
What year was that?
2006, 20 years ago. It actually premiered.
Oh, so this is, wow.
20 years ago, like last week.
Oh,
and,
wow. Wow.
Oh, this is its anniversary, technically?
This is the 20th anniversary of the premiere, guys. We did it.
Oh, my God.
We got
Happy
the scoop
anniversary.
on the 20th anniversary for Pot Zombies. Congratulations, man.
Lloyd got a hold of me and said, hey, if you finish your movie in time, you can premiere it at Frightmare. So I really got on it then, and I got a friend that knew more about computer stuff and could actually put the entire thing together. And so I started going to his house every Friday night. We were just pulling all-nighters, finishing it, and we found people online that were like wanting to be like digital effects people and stuff. And so I started sending out clips to these people we just met in these groups online, and we'd send them a scene and they would do it. It started out as one person, and he did a very good job, but he might have been on meth. And at one point he just kind of disappeared, and
Oh, wow.
and ghosted me, And so I had a few scenes done by him that are the best looking scenes. And then he just kind of disappeared. And so I just got random people online that would do that for free. And I would send it to them. Then like they would do it throughout the week, and then they would upload it to us like by the next Friday so we could use it, in the putting the final thing together.
Wow. That's a process.
I had to add to this. I remember I did learn from you actually how to make a blood pump on pot zombies, because you had made one out of you said you have to get the proper blood recipe online, which I had to go look up myself, how to do that, which I ended up doing on Prison A Go-Go.
Oh, nice.
Making my own blood effects on Prison A Go-Go because of that, basically. So Prison A Go-Go was kind of the beneficiary of pot zombies in that respect, as far as effects went, when I worked it on later on.
Jordan's autobiography is going to be like, everything I learned about film, I learned on pot zombies.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the actors, half the actors were just my friends in the punk scene. And then the other actors were people that I met either at like those industry, like parties that I went to for free booze.
Oh, we ran into each other at one of those one time.
Yeah. And I snagged some actors from Barack's movie.
Oh, from Prison A Go-Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Corn Man. That was another one of his that was really big around there.
Yeah.
Around the area.
Yeah, I think that's where I met John Fallon on that.
Oh, yeah.
He moved back up to Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Anthony, that's the muscle guy, the hippie muscle guy with the tie-dye shirt at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. He committed. I love it. So watching this movie for me was just an absolute trip. Like Jordan and I'm from Dallas. Jordan got there as soon as he could, I guess. And I'm originally from East Dallas. So some shots, I'm like, that's Eastfield College. There's some deep cuts. Like, that's Eastfield College. Okay, so this is a weird question. Bear with me. An audience, you guys could look at your phones or do something else, because this is just going to be a deep Dallas question here. So there's a scene. It's right after the scene, I think, even where Lloyd Kaufman, his character, gets killed. And it's like the zombies that are in the band, right?
Yeah.
And they go outside, and I don't know if you remember this. You probably don't, but they're at a corner. Is that corner Estacado and PV Road?
Yes, it is. That was my brother's house at the time.
Okay.
Oh, that was Matt. Oh, that was Matt's house at the time.
Yeah.
I grew up like 2 blocks away from there, and I was like, what the? Even in like Dallas movies, you really don't get like random corners that you drove by every day of your life when you're grown up. So, wow.
Yeah.
Audience, you can tune back in.
Yeah. Like I would have never remembered I knew it was PV Road, but I didn't remember Estacado till you said it. And I was like, oh yeah, actually that is it.
By the way, Anthony, this is your life.
I know. It is in a way. Watching Pod Zombies, I was just like taken back to a time and a place for sure.
And the Deep Ellum tunnels, they're in it at the end.
Oh yeah. I mean, if Jordan and I lived in Dallas still, we would do like a location shoot.
Oh yeah, because they did
about locations of pot zombies. I'll be like, dude.
Yeah, pot zombies and RoboCop and Logan's Run, all of them.
I'm about to go on I just rewatched, actually not very far from the Estacado house. Some of Mars Needs Women was filmed there.
Yeah.
And there's very obvious stuff like Dallas places, Fair Park and SMU and White Rock Lake. And
yeah, not too long ago we had an interview with Larry Buchanan's son. I guess he was just there as a child, but I was just like, that's one of the joys of Texas filmmaking is, oh my God, I know that place. Is that
we kept asking about locations, honestly.
Yeah,
that was a big thing. But
he was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, bro. Stop asking about random.
Didn't he say what the year 2889 was shot in like Mejia or something like that, I think? Or
oh, really?
I thought, yeah, it was some random.
Maybe
it was random smaller town in the area that he shot the mansion scene at.
I worked on some movies. I was a key grip on Don't Look in the Basement too, and that's right by Mejia. And then there was a movie I shot for a guy from Houston called Hair Metal Shotgun Zombie Massacre, the movie.
Oh, wow.
And they shot it in Mahia, but we were staying at the basement house. The cast and crew were staying.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. There's so many movies randomly shot in around Mahia. I don't know why that area is so appealing. It's not appealing to drive through.
No.
But
Oddly, when I lived in Waco as a kid, I went to school with kids that lived all the way out in Mahia, oddly, and went to the school I was at the time.
Yeah.
In that area of Waco.
Anna Nicole Smith was from there. Hey, there you go. That's something. But going back to Pot Zombies, and you guys were very much in this, I'd call it a scene. I was kind of scene adjacent, I guess, but
I know, surprisingly, you weren't there.
I wasn't there. I was around. I was
around. I mean, you oddly, you and I have the Ghoultown connection because Ghoultown, one of the members was a neighbor of mine in Deep Ellum when I lived there. And you knew one of the members of Ghoultown. So we had that connection.
Who was it? Jeff?
I knew Santi and Lyle.
Yeah, Jeff might have been my neighbor.
I just know Jeff and Lyle, yeah. And they actually played at that music fest I did where I had Lloyd Kaufman in.
Oh, cool.
Fringe Media thing.
So, I mean, and also your fingers in the punk scene in Dallas, man. But going back to film, was the 2000s like a golden era for Dallas or Texas filmmaking? Or was that just, I don't know, you guys just happened to be in at that time?
Yeah, we just happened to be doing it at that time,
It felt hopeful, though, at the time. I thought we were all going places,
Yeah.
Honestly. Until I went to LA, of course, and then it all, for me, went downhill after that. But
Oh, no.
Yeah, Jordan didn't last. And
yeah, on a personal note, yeah. And then I tried to come back and get into the Dallas scene, and it was slowly changing and dividing at that point. Or everybody was getting in, having families or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Do you think a lot of people were just kind of single and available in that sort of class, so to speak? We're all just in it at the same time, and then it fizzled a little bit, Jordan, from your point of view, or?
Oh, yeah. What do you think, Justin?
I mean, people, they get into something and it's a lot of work, and a lot of people maybe start at first, and after a while they realize that's not what they want to do for their life, so they move on,
That's a good point. Or I also saw people get conned sometimes by other filmmakers in Dallas area. Yeah.
I worked for a few sleazy.
Do tell. So would people scam on services, or would they say they're doing something and not? Or
no, the scammy people that I'm talking about, they weren't shooting films, but they were shooting one of them was trying to do actually both of these people, I'm thinking of the worst ones. They hired me to shoot reality show pilot type of thing for them.
Okay.
But they were sort of scamming the people they were. I start working with them and I realize, oh man, I need to get away from these people. And one of them, she died, and then another guy, he's still out there probably scamming people today.
That's interesting.
Oh man.
I mean, everybody else I worked with, though, it was understood what we worked for. It was understood when I worked for you that I was just look, you couldn't pay me, but I said makeup supplies, yes. And I think I bugged you for a joint at the end of the shoot at Bar of Soap, I remember. And you did provide, actually. You rolled me one right there on the spot.
Yeah.
Jordan has a long grievance list, kind of like Steve Buscemi and Happy Gilmore, of people who didn't pay him.
Yeah.
Roger Corman's on that list, I think, right? Jordan?
No, that I don't want to well, yeah. Okay. I worked on that Roger Corman movies an extra, and I still did not see a check. Yes. For Space Marines. Yes. The Roger Corman produced Space Marines. Yes.
That's one of the challenges of working for a small production.
But working on Justin's thing and Ramsey's thing, it was kind of understood what we were working for. We kind of didn't bullshit each other on what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of hey, we're not paying you, but here, Yeah.
When I made Pod Zombies, my idea for it was to finish it, and we were just going to screen it at a couple of punk shows, have a screening and have some of the bands from the soundtrack play.
Oh,
and at the premiere, I gave Lloyd his copy because he happened to be at Frightmare, and he watched it. He sat on a plane on the way home, and then he wrote me later on about Troma distributing it.
Oh, great. Wow.
I remember your brother, though, talking on the shoot. I remember this distinctly, and he was we're going to sell this to Troma, man. We're going to get 50 grand. and we went to Barack, who was working that day. Barack Epstein, once again, from Prison of Go-Go and Texas Theater and all that. And he had worked with Troma, I think, on Corn Man, his movie. And he was like, and you said, Barack, tell him. Right. Barack was like, you're not going to get shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Miraculous. Like now, actually, the rights are, I think, reverting back because it was a 20-year contract.
Oh, really?
2026. But
cha-ching.
I didn't make a lot of money off of it, but I did get small checks, which is more than what most people have ever gotten.
Yeah.
And I know it's not because I made a better movie, that's for sure. It's like the name got a lot more clicks, And I remember when it first came out, I was in Houston and I was staying at somebody's house, and their Xfinity, Troma had got it on Xfinity in the free horror movie section,
Oh, that's right. I think I did see it there.
And I was talking about it then. I was like, man, right now there are like 11-year-old kids and their parents are in bed and they're flipping through the free movies and they see pot zombies and it has nudity in it and drugs.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely clicking on it. So right now, there are children that are being exposed to this that they're going to remember that later on. And now I've, a couple of years ago, I put pot zombies up on YouTube. And now there's comments come all the time. And it's like, oh, shit, I used to watch this when I was 12 years old on demand.
And there is a little kid pot zombie at the very end, right?
Yeah.
So it is a gateway movie, I guess.
Yeah, that's my son. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Was it? Oh,
yeah.
Great.
He's 29. He's a grip. He's working on the same show I am now, too.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I think I remember him.
Yeah. He was with me a lot.
I was going to say, too, I actually first saw Pot Zombies because I had to rent it later on. And I rented it from the Starlight Video. Remember Starlight Video?
Oh, yeah.
And that was how I first had to see it. But that was after you and I hadn't talked in a while and all that. And I just, I came upon it and I was like, oh. And I forked over my hard-earned cash to rent it.
I was more of a Premiere Video guy just because I lived closer to there.
I did rent from there.
Starlight was one of the best video stores in Dallas. It was amazing, though.
Yeah, at one point I lived close to Starlight.
Where was that at?
It was over off of Preston.
Yeah, it was in North Dallas.
But it's gone since, long gone. But it was run by a British guy.
Yeah. Every time I went in there, it was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But like when I lived in Dallas, I used to have this thing. It's like, I don't go north of Mockingbird. Really, it was like Northwest Highway. I just didn't go beyond there because there'd be monsters. Like what's up there? I have no idea. Starlight Video and whatnot.
Yeah. Did you go to Forbidden Books?
Oh, yeah. Forbidden Books? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I remember that place. I still owe them money, late fee money.
That's back when Exposition was hopping. It was like Bar of Soap, right? I saw Bar of Soap and that was like, oh my God. And Bar of Soap, for everyone, that was a dive bar in Dallas way back in the day. And it had some broke down washing machines and dryers in the back and an air hockey table. I did laundry a couple times there, and that it was a better place to have a drink or to watch a show than to do laundry. You just know.
I did laundry there, even though I heard there were hypodermics in the dryer every now and then. I still did laundry there.
I never found out, but people would just, if you weren't right up on your laundry, they would just take your wet clothes and just put them out.
Oh, yeah. That never happened to me, luckily.
There was a punk rock ethos to the laundromat as well. Yeah, I could say.
Yeah, Bar of Soap was like a rite of passage place. It was like a punk rock rite of passage place,
Yeah, I love Bar of Soap, man. Yeah, when they have Bar of Soap and Forbidden open right around the corner, some good times.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was heaven. Yeah, it was. You went and got the happy hour cheap beer at Bar of Soap and then went to Forbidden Books.
Yeah, they had like 50-cent Shiner drafts and stuff like at lunch, like liquid lunch.
I do remember that actually. Yeah, I remember taking advantage of that one time. Yeah. Exposition used to be my haunt for a little while when the old days of Exposition.
Yeah, when it was real sketch over there.
Yeah.
Exposition down on Dallas, folks, is like right next to the State Fair area, by the way. And it was this little haunt. It was this little spot area that people didn't, you kind of just had to go there to know about it, Yeah,
for like 1 month a year, however long the fair goes on, it was just nothing but people from out wherever, not Dallas, out in the sticks coming and eating cotton candy and corn dogs. But when it wasn't the fair, it was like junkies, punk rockers, and just folks who lived over there in this real sketch area.
Yeah, neighborhood area, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a tough breed they were, a tough breed. and then later it cleaned up a little bit, but it was still always a little urban and sort of downtrodden, I guess, that area. But super cool.
It was weird, too, because it was right next to the fairgrounds. So people who lived there could hear concerts, too, happening when the fair wasn't going on.
Yeah.
But so this movie you're working on, this documentary, Justin, it came from Texas.
Yeah.
Like, why hasn't anybody thought of this idea before?
Yes.
So it's like movie directors, and they made their movies in Texas, right? That's the idea.
Yeah, like I'm concentrating on the lower budget cult type movie stuff. Like it'll probably be the only Texas horror documentary that's not about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
Yeah. So I was wondering where you drew the line. Was it just like more underappreciated stuff? Like I saw the trailer. It's great, guys. And you have a GoFundMe out there. Is that correct?
Sort of like on our website, we have like a like not through Indigo, not through any sort of organization, but we have a site up with a page where you can pre-order DVDs. It's set up like that, but it's just on our website, TexasHorrorCult.com.
And even guys, if you're not from Texas or anything, but just a fan of movies, I'm excited about this because there just happen to be some very interesting directors and films, not Texas Chainsaw, not one of the big ones. But yeah, where is that line? You kind of mentioned B movies. Like, who are these directors? Who are you focused on?
So I had the idea to make it a long time ago, like right after, like while I was making the punk documentary. It was another idea to do, but I never started it because I thought maybe I might be the only person that wants to see it. But then I ended up getting interviewed for Brett McCormick's book, Texas Schlock.
Yeah.
And I learned about some other things like Manos, The Hands of Fate, and some things I knew about I didn't realize was from Texas. And that the book turned me on to some other things I didn't realize. Like I knew about Brownrigg and his movies in the 70s, but
Brownrigg made Don't Look in the Basement, right? That you were talking about earlier.
Yes, he did. Now it's called I watched it the other day, called Don't Open the Door. Originally it was called Don't Hang Up.
Nice.
But then years later, they just changed the titles and re-released it, as a double feature at the drive-in again.
I think I met his son right when he was directing the sequel to Don't Look in the Basement. His son, Brownrigg Jr.
It's Anthony Brownrigg. Tony directed.
Anthony Brownrigg, that's him. Yeah. And I think I met him through Hunter Carson because I remember them talking at Frightmare about who he had gotten for Don't Look 2. But anyway, so you focus on those guys. That's cool.
Well, those, and I had some ideas, and that book helped and really inspired me on other things that I didn't realize were from here, like the really old stuff, like the Larry Buchanan and things like that. So
Ray Kellogg, are you doing?
I mean, his thing might be mentioned, but I learned also on the punk documentary, like at the beginning, I had a list of all these things that I could put in there, and then I started shooting interviews with people and got what I could. And then the things that I had the best footage to put together real segments is what I ended up doing, because otherwise the movie would have been, I was struggling to keep it under 2 hours, and it could get away from you. So I'm getting a lot of information, and I have certain ones I'm definitely going to use. I'm definitely going to have segments for, like Brownrigg and Larry Buchanan. I'm going to do Corn Man, a segment with Corn Man, and for like the newer stuff, the more modern.
Yeah, because it's hard to find anybody who is alive from way back in the 50s or 60s or whatever. And I mean, other than anything they're going to say, film historian is something that you and I or anyone can go look up. So
right.
Yeah, what little bit can you tell us about, at least for now, that you learned from Manos, The Hands of Fate, like the director of that one and all? Where was that? Was that shot in El Paso? Am I correct?
Yeah, that was shot in El Paso. And it's one of those movies that it's interesting because the stories behind it, give it this big allure. And, I think is attractive to people.
I've heard it's got weird stories connected to it even, right?
Yeah. Like one of the actors that played Torgo in it, he committed suicide like a month before, the premiere.
Whoa.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Really? Torgo. Of course I know Torgo, because we saw this on Mystery Science Theater so many times. And even watching the movie alone by itself, it's a weird movie. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. And Jordan, what's that thing you always say about Nietzsche, that quote from Nietzsche?
Oh, when you stare at the abyss, it stares back at you. When you stare too long,
sometimes it stares back. That's okay. I've only really seen, except for one time, Manos. Like it's usually the MST3K version, right? So it's like ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And one time I just watched it on its own, and that movie stares back at you. That is a movie you just watch. You're like, oh my god! Like
I agree.
Yeah. My favorite thing on the Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks one, my favorite quote on that one is, "Every frame of this movie looks like someone's last known photograph."
It is. It is. I don't know if haunting is the word, but it's definitely an experience. It's like, why? Like, what has happened in my life that I'm here watching this movie, and also why I can't not watch it.
Yeah, I think that was Mystery Science Theater. What they said about the way it was shot. It was like, was this whole movie shot with an Instamatic camera?
Like one of the interesting things on that was, it was a lost film forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that played the master in it, for this movie, I did talk to his daughter who played the little girl in it.
Really?
And her family did a lot for this movie.
Wow.
Her family did basically everything to help this guy out. And it had been lost. Like they premiered in El Paso, did possibly a couple of drive-in dates, and that was it. And then years later, whenever they show it on Mystery Science Theater, the guy that plays the master was a fan of that show, and he had fallen asleep watching it. And he woke up during it.
Oh, wow.
And watched it and called her. And she says that she just called Comedy Central, and like there was a number on the TV back then on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And she called it, and she was like, "Hey, I've been looking for this movie forever. Is there any way I can get a copy of this?" The guy realizes that it's her. It's like, "Are you Jackie?" What was her name in the movie?
Oh, she's the little girl. Yeah, she's
the little girl
that gets lost and all that. She loses her dog and all that. Yeah, that. Oh, wow.
Her dad is the master, and that's their family dog in it. And her mom did all the costumes for it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's even more endearing. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things I love about low budget filmmaking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it is a whole family affair, and I mean, and your son works in the industry as well. And Jeff Buchanan was talking about we were there. I was working with my dad and all that and crewing, and I don't know. That's just kind of heartwarming.
And that's another thing. You interviewed Jeff Buchanan too, like we did.
I did. I talked to Jeff a little bit after you guys did.
Yeah. And that's so long ago. I think it's, were you just driving all over the country, finding these people, talking to them?
Well, I drove a couple of weeks ago. I drove to Austin to go talk to this guy, Rocky Patterson, who's an actor. He was in the Nail Gun Massacre, and he was in some of Brett McCormick's movies. He's in Replicator and then couple of his action movies.
Oh, cool.
And he was a voice in Rotor, and he was in a lot of Walker, Texas Ranger, and some different, little parts and things. I drove down there for him. So I just drive to wherever close to where the people are, or Jackie from Manos and Larry. I did those online. I got something kind of like Riverside, but something else, and recorded it that way.
That's cool. Yeah, you don't want to drive out to El Paso or wherever they are, and that's a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, well, if somebody would, I actually would do that if, but she lives in Oregon, and
oh no, well
now, but because I would also want to go to the locations, and I like that kind of stuff. I would have took the drive down there for an interview if anybody was alive from the movie down there still. But most of the people are not alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That older movie, when it comes down to, so the 80s stuff, a lot of those people are still alive, like Rocky, and so I'm trying to get those, but a lot of like the SF Brownrigg people, a lot of them are not around. And I was trying to get a hold of Camilla Carr. She's in Logan's Run, but she's also in the Brownrigg stuff in 3 out of 4 of his movies. But she passed the other day.
Oh, wow.
Man.
I've been trying to get a hold of her for like a year, and I could never get in touch with her to do it. But I don't think she would have wanted. I don't,
Who was she in Logan's Run?
She has red hair. I can't remember, but I wish I could have got her because a lot of those people in that era are not around anymore, and they've died in the 2000s, most of them. Where I was like, damn, I wish I could have been doing this. Like, there's a guy. Do you know about the Church of the Subgenius?
Oh, absolutely. We've talked about it. We talked about what's that movie with David Byrne? True Stories.
Yeah.
And we talked extensively about the Church of the Subgenius because I
forgot about that. Yeah.
There's a scene there, but the Church of the Subgenius, that's kind of a weird Texas thing, I think.
Well, I've been a big Subgenius fan for a while. I have a Bob Dobbs tattoo and everything.
Wow.
But so Ivan Stang is the guy that created it, and I ended up getting him in this movie because he worked with SF Brownrigg for several years back then. He's one of the few people that I could get that personally know these people that's still alive, and he lives out in Glen Rose now. Mm-hmm. But I'd seen an article from D Magazine from a long time ago about Larry Buchanan, and it was super deep involved. And told Brett McCormick about it, and he said, "You know who wrote that? It says Douglas Smith, but that's Ivan Stang from the Subgenius." So I was like, "Whoa!" So I might have a reason to actually interview Ivan Stang,
Oh, nice.
And so I got a hold of him because I thought he knew a lot about Larry Buchanan. And then when he wrote me back, he's like, "Yeah, I've been in the industry forever. I worked with Brownie Brownrigg for years." And so I ended up going out to his house and shooting a really cool interview and hearing some, stories told by the madman that is Ivan Stang,
Oh, wow.
Wow. It's like that's multiple things converging in one person. That sounds like a great interview.
Yeah, well, it made sense. I figured that he knew a lot about Larry Buchanan because when Brett told me that he wrote that article, I know that they reference lots of bad movies in those Subgenius books. So it's like he probably is a super knowledgeable about all this stuff from back then, and he is,
Nice. Did you gain any kind of insight on your own from Jeff Buchanan, Larry Buchanan's son?
Insight on my own.
Well, Larry Buchanan left a big body of work. And it's sort of interesting. I didn't realize that until I sort of went back and tried to watch some of them. And most people just kind of know him for, I guess, his sci-fi stuff, the AIP stuff from TV,
right,
in the 60s. But the man had a body of work, like conspiracy documentaries.
Yeah. The conspiracy movies are funny.
Yeah, all sorts of craziness. And just he worked in almost every genre, crime, whatever it is.
I've got the poster for that movie he did about Maryland, which is a biopic. Yeah. But then later on, like, he does a documentary about Maryland to where Jeff is even like, leave it alone, Dad. Just forget about Maryland already. Jeez, why do you keep making stuff about Maryland?
Yeah. I watched the one about the Jimi Hendrix and
Down on Us.
Yeah.
That's required viewing for some people. I don't know. It's interesting. Let's put it that way.
I love what Jeff told us about that movie, which was because I had to bring that movie up to Jeff, and because I love that movie, and Jeff was like, I tried to tell Dad, like, just try to buy one song, I think is what he said. Like, try to at least afford one song. But no, he ends up with this bad knockoff music.
Yeah, it's
all throughout.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that Ivan Stang talks about was them making that movie. And like,
was he on that movie?
He knew somebody that was there writing the poetry.
Yeah.
That they use for, Jim Morrison stuff.
Oh, yeah, all the stuff.
And I think that they've used that like in samples and things because it's just so.
All the sophomoric stuff he sang in the scene, yeah.
I didn't realize how ridiculous it was till he was saying it. I'm like, oh, that's what it says? And he's like, yeah, dude.
Oh, nice.
That's a fun movie to watch. But yeah, it's not all like horror and stuff. And that's the interesting thing about Larry Buchanan is he worked in so many different genres and apparently was trying to make decent movies, and that's sort of that's the interesting thing about talking to some of those folks or investigating
Yeah,
something.
he talked about it. He talked about like he was trying to do different stuff later in life, but for money, people would pay him to make the more schlocky stuff because that's what he was known for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where his money was.
But if you have you read his book, Larry Buchanan's autobiography?
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but yeah, I did. I do have it.
He goes into like Marilyn Monroe and like how she died and the Kennedy assassination and all this. So he was definitely conspiracy minded, and that's an interesting thing. So yeah,
I would love to hear him talking about like going deep in him in the conspiracy stuff. What he really believes.
Oh my God. I mean, like all my heroes have passed. Like Larry Buchanan, if I could just sit there and have a beer with Larry Buchanan and just let him talk about whatever the hell he wants to talk about, go for it.
Yeah, with him and his Don Quixote-esque goatee, I mean, hell yeah.
I mean, but it was Brett McCormick's interview with him that got us thinking about that episode. Was like, he was so erudite, and you're like,
yeah,
this is Larry Buchanan. This is not what I pictured at all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing is like when you look at these low budget directors and films, there's oftentimes like a story about Manos or something like that. Are you finding a lot of that? Like there's more to the movie, there's more to the director than just this sort of schlocky movie that we have?
Oh yeah, it totally is. Also, like I had heard of that film Manos way before I saw it from this small documentary called Hotel Torgo.
What?
And it's on YouTube. It's called Hotel Torgo.
I'm going to look that up.
It's a documentary, and they talk to this guy that was one of the crew guys on it, and he also is the guy that's making out with the girl in the car at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he also is like the key grip and the camera assistant and all these crew people too in it. But they interview him, but it's way later in life. I don't know if this was the 80s or when it was, but they interview him. But the documentary claims that everybody is dead that's in this movie, and so it started a whole lore because of this little documentary. But it wasn't true at all. Because Jackie's said, I tried to get a hold of them because I heard about it. I was doing conventions at that time. Like, I don't know why they didn't. And I think even at the time, her dad was still alive. And there's another woman alive in the movie also.
I used to hear that myth, though, about Manos. I think all the way back to 2005 or 2004.
Yeah, people claimed that everybody had died on it. So this mysterious, weird movie that had and really it wasn't true.
I used to show Mystery Science Theater at the bar I worked at, Elbow Room back then.
Yeah.
Around that time. And I remember this guy I worked with who had better internet access than I did. He was like, oh, have you looked up Manos? Everybody around it's dead, man. And he just...
Yeah.
It added this mythos or something to the movie.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, that's what I always remember. I was like, it's crazy.
Manos was one of those movies that I figured was just an enigma the way it was filmed, and I didn't have any access to any information on it at all. I just assumed that without even looking it up,
That's what I'll do with Pot Zombies. I'm going to make a documentary that everyone involved with this dumb, weird movie is dead now.
We'll start it here. It'll get picked up. The movie was haunted, bro. The curse of pot zombies.
The makeup guy Jordan worked one day and was dead afterwards.
His dick fell off.
That's true, actually.
Going back to Pot Zombies real quick, are you going to plan anything for the 20th anniversary? A release? Anything?
Well, when it comes back, I'm not sure. I would either self-release like a double feature like DVD or Blu-ray with both of them and with a bunch of behind it. Like I got all the old tapes and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Or, if I got really lucky and some cool boutique label that puts out, shot on video stuff, that would be fun. Otherwise, I'm just going to do it myself probably at some point, not necessarily this year. But
yeah.
I'm amazed if you saved any raw footage from that movie because I am the worst. I don't have any raw footage from my old short films, honestly.
Yeah, I've got all the tapes. So if I can and I digitized pieces of all those that era tapes when I was doing the punk documentary.
That was a Canon, wasn't it? A Canon... a
GL2, yeah.
Yeah, that we shot on.
Yeah.
It was it was the only digital we had back then, kids.
Yeah, they said it was great, so we did it.
So you have a lot of stuff you could use for a behind-the-scenes featurette or something like that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that'd be great. Are you going to do a documentary about punk movies? Is that your next big mountain to climb?
No, I don't really know what it would be. Actually, a documentary I do want to do is I had an idea like the half man from Freaks. What's his name?
From the movie Freaks, or
Yeah,
But the old movie from the 30s.
on the last show I worked on in Atlanta, the production designer on it is from Baltimore, and his first movie was
Halfway. Johnny Eck?
Johnny Eck, yes. And it's a production designer I know that he's also worked in the last half of John Waters' movies. And
oh, interesting.
this guy, he's done a lot of cool, interesting stuff. He's from Baltimore, and he owns all of Johnny Eck's stuff. Like, he owns his house. He bought his house, and he bought his whole estate. So he has like video footage that nobody's ever seen, and like artwork the guy did, his baby, like every single thing from his family, like all these never before seen photographs, and an insane amount of stuff.
Oh, interesting.
So
that's like a gift for you right there. Like
that would be,
wow.
and I was like, you should do that. And he's like, that's what I definitely am going to do at some point. I'm just trying to get in there to, I offered like, well, if you need help editing it, let me know. 'Cause
yeah.
I would love to work on that. That would be fun. I've always really loved that guy. Like, ever since I saw that movie,
I know that movie pretty well, though. I mean, yeah, Todd Browning also directed Dracula, the Bela Lugosi Dracula, Universal Studios. Yeah. But I was going to ask, is there any other directors that you're still having to interview for this documentary, or did you get everything so far?
No, I don't have everything so far, but I'm still trying to book as many as I can, and I'm about to shoot again with Glenn Coburn that did Bloodsuckers from Outer Space.
Oh,
cool.
Did you know that's a Dallas movie too? He's from East Dallas.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I haven't seen that film.
It's really funny.
And what year is it?
It's the mid 80s. I think it's like 84. It was mid 80s, shot on 35, and it got distribution back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny, and you can see it anywhere on Tubi and whatnot. And I'm working on getting Joe Bob Briggs. I finally talked to I couldn't get hold of him for a long time, and I finally, Barack hooked me up with his manager's contact, and so we're talking now, and I just gotta, we're hoping to shoot that in April, I hope. Right now he's pretty packed until then.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm trying to finish up. My best case scenario is I get all my interviews done. That's one of my last ones, I'm hoping. But we'll see how it all works out.
It's funny. I was just watching The Stand the other night, and I forgot he was in that movie.
Oh, wow.
Coincidentally. He just shows up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
And Jordan, for everybody, real quick, who is Joe Bob Briggs?
He's a film critic. Mostly people probably knew him from TNT Up All Night, or he'd kind of be the host between bad movies or old bad TV shows or something like that. And he was a film critic, but then he would show up every now and then as an actor, like in The Stand or in Casino, playing the son of, oddly, L.Q. Jones, who directed The Boy and His Dog.
Yeah.
Playing another casino owner in Scorsese's Casino.
Yeah. Definitely a Dallas, if not a Texas legend. I imagine he's extremely knowledgeable about film because he was a movie critic for a long time.
Yeah, he is.
Is this true? I don't know. I've heard that he has a taste in art house films.
He probably does.
He's like, I believe Jules and Jim was a really good movie, from Francois Truffaut,
He's very knowledgeable about almost, all the stuff that I'm covering in this documentary. So,
oh, wow.
I hope it all works out very good. I remember him. I loved him back in high school. I watched him on, I think it was the Movie Channel, and he had a thing on Friday nights, I think, called Monster Vision.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. He had a little trailer set.
Yeah.
Because he had a couple different shows.
Yeah, throughout different eras. And now he does, I guess, the last drive-in for on Shudder.
I'm glad he's still working.
I think he's probably doing better than he probably ever has before. I don't know, but he's on tour. He's all over the place. He's very busy.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
He does a lot of live screenings and stuff. I saw him in Atlanta. He did a thing. I think he wrote a book called How the Rednecks Saved Hollywood. And he had a show where it's him talking, and that's like a slideshow behind him going through this, like, rednecks in Hollywood in movies from the beginning, And like, I don't know if he always does it, but in Georgia he did. It ends with Burt Reynolds stuff because it's like, I wonder if he does this everywhere or just because he's in Georgia, he's like really playing up the Burt Reynolds.
He's kind of playing up the Burt Reynolds angle.
That gets the audience involved in Georgia.
Really going.
Yeah. So you've done all this research, you've interviewed all these folks, and not to, don't spill anything that's going to be in the documentary, but what are like the hallmarks of Texas B movie filmmaking? Is there a through line that you're sort of discovering? What makes a Texas B movie versus something else?
I ask questions to people trying to get something good out and force something like that, and I really never get much out. Like, I try to be like, what's the difference? What do you think's the difference between Texas horror movies or B movies than other states? And most people don't say anything at all. But Lloyd Cryer, he's like, Texas people, put a certain like heart into the projects, and you can kind of feel like it coming through there somehow. But I'm not really sure. People from Texas are proud of being from Texas, so they do try to put, try to make it their own, that way somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in some way, it's kind of like you all making movies, that community in Dallas in the 2000s, everyone just helping each other out and just proud of being able to do the work and be a part of something.
Yeah, because also a lot of those are the same people like that, like the Brownrigg crew. Like SF Brownrigg actually edited and did sound and worked on Buchanan movies.
Oh, wow.
And then he started doing his own movies. He was the editor on Mars Needs Women. I saw the other day. I noticed.
I think, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And most of those movies are basically all the same people, cast and crew almost. And his films remind me a little bit of how you were talking about Manos being like the way that it's shot. It gives it a certain weird feel.
Yeah.
Like where you like the texture of it or so, whatever it is. But I think it looks really cool, and it kind of has a dark gives it a dark vibe or something. And I don't know if like that's what they were wanting to go for, or they just didn't have the money to have enough lights for it to be lit a certain way to not look the way it does. Like if they had more money and lights, it might have just been brighter and just looked more normal and not had the same feeling to it.
Yeah, it feels like, especially on the interiors shots, and I haven't seen the movie in a long time, so forgive me, but it feels claustrophobic from what I remember. Like you're just kind of stuck in the room with these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The interiors also, they feel like the style is like just shot with photo floods or something.
Yeah.
That, Jordan, if not just a lamp with the shade taken off.
That's what I mean. Yeah. A photo flood stuck in a lampshade, as they call it.
Yeah. Low budget filmmakers, and either of you correct me, but you deal with what you have. And so you're not necessarily trying for the effect. You're just getting what you can. Yeah. Trying to get this shot, trying to do this thing. Right. You don't know to light the scene this way and this way. You don't know the language of film. You're just like, put the camera here because that's where it'll fit in the room.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that's, we were talking to Jeff, it's like Larry Buchanan movies have this strange quality. Like, I don't always love what's happening, but I'm just watching it and I'm just like, I don't know. There's some sort of something there. We're still talking about these movies today. And there's no reason, like, there's so many cheap movies and low budget movies, but for some reason Larry Buchanan movies have something to them. Mm-hmm. You can call that camp or whatever you want to call that, but it's there.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember she's in, do you know who Annabelle Wienik is? She's an actress. Like if you look her up, it's in, like she's in lots of Larry Buchanan stuff. And she's in also all the SF Brownrigg stuff. And she's in basically everything shot around Texas in that era. And then talking to other people now that were there, I find like she also was crew people. She'd be like a production designer and she would act in it. But she's in everything somehow, Like
Yeah, and it seems like Larry Buchanan had sort of a stock company of folks that he was happy to give work to. You know, like, hey, let's get this person in here, and everyone's a grip on a Buchanan film. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You grab this, you do that. But I guess everyone was just pitching in, and that just sounds fun to me. Everyone just working together to make a thing. Maybe you get called next time. I guess Brownrigg was maybe the same thing. Let's get the same people back. And I just love that whenever I see like Vierley Corman stuff or AIP stuff where it's like the same people over and over again in different roles.
Yeah, I just realized the other day, the Roger Corman movie Gas?
Oh, yeah. That was like shot around SMU, wasn't it?
Cindy Williams. And
yeah, that was shot in Dallas. Like SMU and a bunch of downtown shots.
Yeah, 75 before it was the Canyon. It was just like 2 lanes or something. Yeah. I was like, what? I haven't seen that in a very long time. But yeah, Dallas, I don't know. Dallas doesn't get much love unless you're talking like JFK or something like that as far as filmmaking goes.
Yeah.
Not unless a big Hollywood production comes there. Does it get news? I mean,
RoboCop. You could, like, on one hand, you can count the big movies.
Yeah. Because RoboCop came from outside, technically, so yeah.
I met a guy the other day, like a month ago. I worked on a Ford commercial that they shot out in Terrell. There's these national commercials. They do a series. They shoot there every time. But there was a driver that was driving like the picture cars, a big giant Ford truck pulling a boat. And the guy jumped out. He was an older man, and he was like, "Hey," I can't remember what he introduces himself and then walks away. And then I was on dolly, and my camera operator was like, "You know who that is? He's a legendary stuntman in Texas." And he was the guy that was in the RoboCop costume. Like,
was it Russell Towery?
Yes.
Yeah, because he worked on when they shot Good Guys over at the bar I worked at, that TV show Good Guys. He was working on that. He was doing stunt coordinating for that, and they pointed at him, and I knew his name from like the fan books, like seeing him in the Robo costume next to Peter Weller showing him how to move, those photos in Cinefex magazine and Cinefantastique. So I knew him like from that name. So yeah, I was like, that's the stunt coordinator for RoboCop. Oh my God, Russell Towery. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, that guy. And he worked on Walking Dead, I think, later on.
I worked for the key grip from RoboCop. Like, he retired not even that real long ago.
Oh, wow.
He was the key grip on Dallas show Queen of the South.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I heard about that one, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
So, I mean, being a grip and working on film, I guess you've seen like every aspect of film. You're right. You've been a director. You've edited. You've
every aspect of production, basically.
Of production, yeah.
Yeah.
So soup to nuts, all that. So has that given you like a special perspective about making films? Because I think we were talking a while back where like a lot of directors, I'm sure some have worked their way up and done whatever, but they haven't done all the manual stuff. You know what I mean? Some of them don't even do much editing.
Yeah.
You have that overall perspective. What lessons have you taken away from that?
Well, sometimes not anymore because I've gotten over it, but for a while, I would like have a project I wanted to shoot, but because I'm working on bigger budget stuff, I've seen ways to do it, like, the absolute best way to do it. It makes me want to do it that way, but I'm never going to have the money to actually do it like that, So I have to make myself be like, okay, I just have to remember, just get it done no matter what, like I don't need to wait on the way I want to do it. I just have to do it,
Oh yeah. Having said that, God, you sat on so many productions probably. I remember when you sent me photos because the production allowed it, but it was 11/23/63.
11/22/63.
11/22/63. That big movie with James Franco, where he goes back in time with the Kennedy assassination. They shoot it downtown Dealey. You sent me photos from that, and it looked huge, that thing. But I mean, do you ever sit around on so many of these things and think like, man, they're wasting time?
Oh,
I wish they would move this faster, and I know they could move this faster, but I know there's a faster way to do it.
Well, there is, but also there's so much going on above me that you don't really know about. Yeah. Sometimes you'll get mad, but I just take it as I'm getting paid by the hour, and I make more money the dumber the people at the top are sometimes,
Yeah, you just you keep your place. Then you just know your place.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For good reason.
You're not like walking in like, bro, I directed Pot Zombies. Move aside. Look,
Yeah.
Here's where you're putting your camera. You go over there.
I did get to work on. I was in New York for 2 years working on Netflix Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a full moon T-shirt on, and when you flip up the bottom, there's like a pair of tits. So you flash, and the DP is like, "Oh man, I love that shirt," and they're walking by, so I flash him the titties on it, and he's like, starts dying laughing. He's like, "Oh, come with me." He starts pulling me onto set. He's like, "You've got to show that to the director." I was like, "Oh no," and he's like, "Yeah, she's gonna love it." And I was like, "She?" I was like, "No, there's no way I'm doing that." He's like, no, trust me. And I went in there, and I'm like, he's like, "Hey," and then, Jennifer, and I flash her, and I realize as I'm doing it that it's Jennifer Lynch, David Lynch's daughter.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I knew it was her because I'd met her like a year before at Texas Frightmare, so I knew what she looked like at the time. I was like,
but she's cool though, I think, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, she was super cool. After that, and she chain smoked, so she was just like smoking down there at Grip Staging for a while on that show sometimes.
Oh wow! I just remember I used to talk to her on Facebook before she kind of got back up into directing again. And she was so cool on Facebook, just talking to people sometimes. Back in those days, at least, but
Yeah.
Was there ever somebody that like really you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting this person? Maybe that's happened a lot to you.
No, like I like meeting like the people that I get excited to meet are like very, very weird and random type of stuff. Like I did end up on day played a few days on The Irishman, and my first day happened to be Martin Scorsese's birthday, and so they had little cupcakes with his face on and all that shit.
You worked on The Irishman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang, man.
Man, that's
brother's
cool.
moving up. Shit. I'm sorry.
But I did 4 seasons of this show called BMF, Black Mafia Family. It's a gangster show.
Oh, cool.
And this director of photography came on for one episode, and I always look up DPs to see if they ever, if they shot anything cool. And every now and then it pops up. And this guy, he had shot Ghoulies 3 and Christmas Vacation 2. Like, he said that he's like the guy that you'd always hire to make sequels for movies that don't need sequels. The Ghoulies 3 is my favorite Ghoulies movie, so I brought my VHS tape to set and I had him sign it. He thought it was cool. Really funny.
Isn't there something awesome about like having someone sign a VHS tape?
Yeah, totally.
I was at Texas Frightmare and I had John Saxon sign one for Blood Beach, and is sadly one of my like most prized possessions.
Yeah.
But so I was just curious about the punk documentary. Yeah. Everything is A-okay. Like, was that just a trip down memory lane? What was that process like? I haven't had the opportunity to see it, but that sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I was very active in the punk scene here. I booked a lot of shows. I ran a venue down in Deep Ellum, and a lot of my friends were in different bands. And I knew some people from different eras, but I loved Texas punk. Like, my favorite band of all time is like Old Butthole Surfers, and I love the Dicks and all these old school like weird stuff from Texas. And so I wanted to make a Texas punk documentary, but I didn't really know how to, the process of doing it. And most of those people, they all live in Austin and I'm in Dallas. Since I knew everybody here, I decided to do a Dallas punk documentary first and kind of get a workflow down and see how to do it. So that's how. And I knew it was going to take a long time, and it would be fun actually editing and going through. If you're making a very boring documentary, it would probably be terrible. But if you're making a documentary where it's stuff that you love and just listen to music the whole time with it, editing to it.
Yeah.
I forgot you worked at that punk venue down the street from me when I lived in Deep Ellum.
Yeah, the Red Blood Club.
Yeah, the Red Blood Club.
Yeah, Red Blood Club.
I did go there and drink, I remember, a couple times.
Yeah.
And punk is so visceral. The music is so, it seems like it lends itself to a very like exciting documentary. You're just dealing with action already.
Yeah, I did my best on it to keep it pretty fast paced. that might keep the interest of people outside of Dallas or Texas, because it's pretty regional. People from the area, they love it. You know, people I don't know that moved away years ago that was around for a short time in the 80s and moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're in Portland now and they see it and they're writing me like, man, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, you know? So the people that have been part of that, they love it. So they're the easy audience. But I tried to make it where it went fast enough paced where people that just like music documentaries or that just like other punk documentaries, it might keep their interest enough to finish it, you know?
Well, fans of punk too, but yeah, but you're right. It's very regional, but I mean, hey, I guess you're making something to put it out there, but yeah, sometimes you're just like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, hey, doing it for yourself.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love it. I love also trying to, like both of these documentaries, you know, I'm trying to help keep things that I think are cool alive. So people that like punk rock or were involved in the Dallas scene at some point, they watch it. Now they know the other bands that were before them. And then it creates some interest in it. And hopefully the same thing for this movie documentary, you know, people will discover things. Because I'm always seeing weird random documentaries like this. And it makes me want to go watch those movies, you know. And I just watched a Tulsa documentary called Tulsa Terrors.
Wow.
It just came out and it's on Tubi now. But they've made some low budget movies in the 80s and 90s in Tulsa and
movies that came out of Tulsa.
Yeah.
I do remember there was one that it was a Texas Oklahoma movie called Dark Before Dawn, and like everybody back then, my dad was in the film scene in Texas back then and kind of as an actor, and that's how I knew about the movie. And like everybody worked on that movie around the area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of regional horror films, and
but I think that was a Tulsa, Texas production. That's why I brought that movie up.
I mean, Tulsa's pretty cool. Oklahoma itself, for me, is a horror movie. Just kidding. But I used to live in Arkansas, and Tulsa was the big city, so we would drive like 2.5 hours.
I grew up in Arkansas.
Oh,
really?
I moved to Arkansas in my early 20s, like right when I had a kid when my son from Pod Zombies was born. We moved from Arkansas to the big city to not get stuck in Arkansas, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's come up now.
We're from Fort Smith.
Okay. Yeah. Fort Smith is all right. It's I
lived around Springdale for a little bit.
Yeah, I lived in Fayetteville.
Springdale, close to Fayetteville, yeah.
Okay. That's where all my friends live now.
Yeah, everyone moved up there.
Did you go to JR's Light Bulb Club?
No, and where? In
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville? No, I don't. Like, where was it?
Oh, I believe it was on Dixon.
Oh, Dixon.
Here's the short answer to that. Yes. Do I remember stumbling in there?
Right.
And stumbling out? Probably not. But yeah, I think so. If you pointed it out, I'd be like, place, I've been in there.
My friends' bands always played there.
I was going to say, speaking of Arkansas, Texas, we've got Charles B. Pierce, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, Texarkana.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to get controversial. Is he an Arkansas director or a Texas director? Discuss. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But he went to LA, got connections, then he went back because he became friends with Clint Eastwood, from what I understand. But I think Charles B. Pierce got his money out of LA still. He had somebody finance. I think that's what's going on with him.
Yeah, he made it. I mean, if you ask me, he's a success story.
But he wasn't homegrown, so to speak, to where he grabbed money locally.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to... What do you have to have a lemonade stand and then raise money for a movie, Jordan? Like, what is your criteria? Look, the man made some awesome films.
And then Charles B. Pierce had a lemonade stand.
Yes.
Offered coconut with a straw.
Okay, Legend of Boggy Creek was not like a big budget Hollywood movie, Jordan, like you're trying to say it is. Okay, look, it's homegrown enough for me. Okay,
yeah.
But anyways, well, that's great. So if you had, like, let's say you won the lottery tomorrow, and you're talking about your passions, like you made your punk rock documentary, Texas filmmaking. Is there another documentary, another film that you have in you that you're really interested in making, or a subject maybe?
No, yeah, I'm always coming with ideas of a movie I want to do, and lately I've been trying the ideas of what I can do since I haven't won the lottery. You know,
you got to play to win.
I don't know, man.
Is there like just a topic that you're really interested in? You're like, hey, maybe if I had the time.
Yeah, okay. I did think of another documentary that I went and shot some stuff while I was in Georgia. you ever heard of the Corpsewood Manor?
No.
It's a gay satanic murder house, like up in the woods of North Georgia.
Whoa.
Wow.
I heard about it on a podcast a long time ago, and then I went up and visited the ruins of the house. So this couple, a guy from Chicago, moved to, and he had worked with the government with like MK Ultra stuff, and he had liquid LSD. But him and his partner wanted to get out of Chicago, so they bought this land in the mountains of North Georgia, and they hand built this castle type of thing. Had no electricity. They growing their own food. They were making their own wine. They had chickens, and he was into the occult. So he had there was a pink gargoyle on the entrance going into their home.
Oh, of course.
And
that's awesome.
And their car had a bit like a pentagram on the side of it, and
Whoa.
they had a couple of human skulls in there. Anyway, they had parties apparently, and this 3 stories, a chicken coop on the bottom, and the middle was like storage for canned goods and apparently porn, and then the top was a pink room where they had like sex parties and things. And at some point, and obviously this was in the 80s,
the cocaine was a flowing.
so the townspeople did not like them, I'm sure. And there was a kid that had been hanging out there, and some other white trash older friend of his. They thought they had money there, so they decided to rob them, and they murdered them and their dogs.
Oh, wow.
And then they took off. They stole their car, and they actually went to Texas. They killed somebody and stole a different car because they were in a car with a pentagram on the side of it that was stolen. Driving across the South.
Wow.
Driving across the South, yeah.
And then I think they got to Texas, and then they split up and they turned around, and they're in prison now.
Yeah.
But it's like a true crime story, and it has to do with it's like a satanic true crime story. Like a satanic panic thing. And
would this be like a documentary style you do it, or like an exploitation movie style?
A documentary, and I've been up there twice.
Yeah.
I went there once just to check it out, and with a friend, and then I went back a few months later with a couple of cameras and a drone, and there's just ruins now. People had tried to burn it down. So there's still some walls and some things knocked over, and
wow.
And there's things still standing. And I was doing a lot of research and getting newspaper articles and news footage and stuff. I went as far as I found one of the guys, the murderers, and where he is, what prison he's in, but I haven't actually written him because I was going to see if I could get an interview with him.
Man, do it. You had me at Gay Satanic Murder House.
Yeah.
All the pot zombies, that should just be the title. Just go for broke.
Yeah. I say, is this exploitation or documentary? I guess it's like, yes is the answer.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a rabbit hole to go down. I gave you the short version of it, but I heard it on a podcast and I started really researching it. Then I went up there. But there's a lot of lure around it, because there's a lot of people on YouTubers that go there with because you have to drive up this mountain, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and it turns into a dirt road, and there's nothing around.
Damn.
But people frequently go there.
Yeah.
The first time I went there, when I was leaving, there was people going towards it, and it's not a real bad walk. But YouTubers that do ghost hunting stuff, they go there a lot and try to pick up stuff. So you can see that a lot on YouTube.
Cool.
And there's always stories of people saying that they went there and there was Satanists there doing rituals in the middle of the night. That it's stories like that make you. I mean, I wouldn't go there at night. So
Yeah.
I've been there twice during the day,
Wow.
and I didn't get any weird bad vibes. But I definitely wouldn't go there at night.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I would be scared.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, honestly, I'd love to see that. So I hope once you're done with the Came from Texas, maybe you consider that, please.
Yeah. No, I do want to, because both of these are nostalgia type of films, and
Mm-hmm.
a cool satanic panic true crime thing. True crime's popular, so you're like, oh, what true crime story can I get?
Yeah. and Satanic Panic stuff. It's like, isn't it weird that we're like nostalgic over Satanic Panic stuff from the 80s and 90s? Like that was,
Oh man,
remember that Oprah episode?
I was just watching an old episode about a year ago of Morton Downey Jr. I don't know if you remember him. He was like a loud, screaming guy late at night. There was one about satanic rock and rolls. It was one of those kind of things, and they interviewed this guy in the audience, and he was like, "What do you think?" And the guy goes, "No, man, heavy metal changed my life, man." And that just said it all right there, you know.
Yeah. Well, you've been so generous with your time. It's been really great talking to you, Justin. I mean,
thank you, old buddy.
Talk to you for hours here.
Thank you, guys. Well, I am hoping with this, with the It Came from Texas documentary, is I'm wanting to, when it's done, to first, before it's released, try to get it into some drive-ins.
Oh, hell yeah.
Where I can hopefully, I'm going to try to just, I'm just going to get in touch with it. A lot of indie people have been able to get theirs into a couple of drive-ins, just working deals with people.
I love that drive-ins kind of came back around COVID or after COVID, basically. Yeah. They got a resurgence.
So I think it'd be cool to do some screenings of it where we show the documentary and then a couple of the movies that are like featured in it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Or I hope to, in Texas, I want to get a hold of one of the drive-ins, if I could talk him into doing like one of those old school, like all-night horror movie marathons where we do the doc and then we basically show several of the movies till, the sun comes up,
Oh, a Dusk Till Dawn.
A Dusk Till Dawn feature. Movie marathon. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Marathon, yeah. That sounds awesome.
All right. Well, I'm putting it out there. I hope you make that happen. And folks, please, It Came from Texas is the movie. Go donate. Reach deep in your pockets. Reach deep in your pockets, into your heart, and give this young man some money he can finish his film.
Look into your heart, because I know it's... No, I'm sorry.
Justin, thanks for your time. This has been awesome talking to you and just about so many different things. You're
it went all over the place.
You're a man of many
interests. Thank you again, old friend.
Yeah, thank you
for joining us. I know you're busy. You're busy working on other people's movies and other people's TV shows and your own. And yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, have a good night. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
So, Jordan, we had a great interview with Justin.
Yeah.
But for our next episode, you're going to give me some movies to pick from.
Yes. I'm giving you 3 movies to pick from out of these Star Wars cash-ins after Star Wars came out.
All right.
3 movies that ripped off Star Wars, more or less. Message from Space, 1978.
Ooh.
The Black Hole, 1979. That was Disney before they even owned Star Wars, mind you. Space Raiders, 1983. Roger Corman recycling footage from Battle Beyond the Stars. We kind of hinted at that movie on a previous podcast with our guests, Dan Griffith and Dan Schweiger, talking about movie scores.
Uh-huh. I've never seen Message from Space, and I think that's Japanese. That's very...
Yeah, it's a Japanese-American co-production because they have Vic Morrow starring in it as well.
Oh boy, Vic Morrow. Speaking of...
And the score sounds like a ripoff of the Obi-Wan Leia theme on on that one. Anyway, not to downplay it.
Yeah.
The Black Hole and Space Raiders, yeah. Black Hole 1979, Space Raiders 1983.
We previously mentioned Space Raiders, so it would be interesting to talk about that. But I feel the movie that you probably want to talk about is The Black Hole, Disney's Black Hole.
Oddly, no. I want to talk about Space Raiders, but Black Hole I'm always willing to talk about. But since you said The Black Hole.
Well, I haven't seen The Black Hole since I was a kid.
I'll let you borrow my Disney Plus subscription just to watch it. In the perfect high-def format.
Not a plug. All right, well, folks, that's your homework. Go watch that film so you'll be primed for our next episode.
The Black Hole.
And you can hear us talk about
1979.
So everyone, thank you all for listening. This has been a fantastic, for me, a fantastic interview and discussion with Justin.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked talking to him.
Yeah.
It was good talking to my old friend again.
A trip down memory lane. So that's cool. But if you like this, check out some of our other episodes. We interview people from time to time about many different interesting things, about filmmakers, documentarians, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So check out some of our other episodes. And if you like this, hey, like and subscribe on whatever platform you're on. Hit the good buttons. The good ones, okay?
The good
Please.
ones. Look into your heart. To
Look
quote
into your heart and hit the good
that
button.
old Coen Brothers movie, Miller's Crossing. Look into your heart.
So anyway, and if you like this, tell your kids, tell your wife, tell that pot zombie, that green-eyed pot zombie.
That green-eyed pot zombie. Man, they're hungry. Careful after they smoke that stuff.
That you like this podcast before they eat you. And Jordan, this has been...
The robots took my podcast. Oh my God, it's zombies, pot zombies.
All trailers, clips, music, or any other copyrighted material are used sparingly, edited from their original forms, and used for the purposes of criticism, discussion, commentary, and education about these fine films.